Today's toy spot, we are having a look at the NECA Toys, The Dark Knight, the Joker. Spot's finally having a look at these. I know it's a little late. Spot was wanting to get a look at these sooner and just never got a chance to, but we're having a look at the NECA Toys, The Dark Knight, the Joker. Really cool to finally get ourselves some of the collectibles. We've all said this, sooner or later when you have a toy in hand, a movie property toy, you always think to yourself, wish NECA could have done this. Well, NECA has done movie property toys in the past, but due to licensing and the way that figures are owned by certain companies, NECA generally had to release figures in a larger scale to kind of get around licensing restrictions. We are now finally getting smaller scale figures because, to be honest, I thought the bigger figures were always really cool, but not a lot of people can accommodate the spacing for some of those very, very large figures. So much prefer a smaller Joker. That's just me, but I think he turned out really well, and I'm looking forward to getting him out of packaging. Speaking of which, speaking on the back of the package, we've got, with the help of Lieutenant Jim Gordon and the committed new District Attorney Harvey Dent, Batman sets out to destroy organized crime in Gotham City for good. The triumvirate initially proves to be effective, but they soon find themselves prey to a rising criminal mastermind known as the Joker, who thrusts Gotham City into an anarchy and forces the Gotham Knight, or the Dark Knight, ever closer to crossing the fine line between hero and vigilante. There's also a word on there that Spot I don't think has ever used before. Triumvirate? No idea. However, on the bottom of the package, you can go to www.necaonline.com. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, however, we're going to get a better look at the Joker. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. First things first, let's have a look at some of the accessories that come with the Joker. He comes with a machine gun. It doesn't appear that this clip, I thought initially the clip would have swung out, the little back section of the gun, but it doesn't look like it actually can. It's affixed, and I don't see any real hinge points on the back, so I'm not going to try to force that. Guarantee that's going to break off. Comes with a little machine gun. The Joker also comes with a pistol, a little handgun. Doesn't have the removable magazine, but still nicely painted. And Joker also comes with one of his knives. You want to know how he got one of those, well, how he got his scars, might likely be because of one of these. Just saying. By the way, none of the accessories can be held or can be put on Joker. He's got no holsters or anything like that, but he does have one hand that's suitable for his knife, and it fits. It's basically his hand, I don't know if you can see it or not, his hand is completely closed except for just a little notch. And that notch is just enough to hold the knife in hand. Everything else seems to fit pretty easily, though, in his other hand, which is clearly suitable for holding the weapons and other things like that. From an accessory standpoint, pretty good. I would have liked if they had included like a bag of money, like a stack of money, or even like a shotgun, which I think would have been a nice touch too. But as it goes for weapons, I think he at least has the basics, and that's exactly what we would hope for. At least he comes with these versus, let's say, for example, the movie Masters Joker, which kind of was more slim pickings. Speaking of slim pickings, well, speaking of movie Masters, I'm sure everybody jumped on board the DC, well, the Mattel Batman Dark Knight figure line, especially when Joker came out. If everybody remembers, where were you when you were trying to get the original movie Masters Joker? Yeah, it was hard. It was pretty hard to get. And now, you can probably find them on eBay for next to nothing. And I think a lot of people got that figure and looked at it and thought, yeah, it looks like Joker, but it's not quite the Joker figure I would have hoped for. Maybe then ... Gee, I really wish NECA could have actually gotten the licensing for the Dark Knight. Well, many, many years later, we are now finally getting the Joker. And how does he stack up? Very, very well. The figure is quite nice. I feel like maybe the paint could be just improved slightly in the face. It's very clean. It's a very clean face. So if you want to maybe consider this more Joker near his earlier movie appearance rather than later on where it gets a little more smeared, I kind of would have dug a more smeared look on his face. But the face likeness is quite good. A nice touch that they've also added too is that his hair is not 100% green. It's got that, where it looks like the coloring has started to fade out of his hair. So like lower areas of his hair is a different color than as you get progressively farther up. The wrinkles in his face are a nice touch. The scarring also exceptionally well on the face too. He's pretty much, and I wish, sadly, I had my Mattel Movie Masters Joker because I would have loved to have done a comparison side by side. Truthfully, I don't even know what happened to that figure anymore. But I can tell you though, hands down, this figure would have won a look at between those two figures. This figure also has a nice lankiness to him, perfect for the Joker. He looks like he's his own distinct mold, so he's not utilizing a mold used by any other toy. His jacket has some nice paintwork on the inside, and though his interior jacket is attached to his trench coat, you can't remove the two from one another, but that's okay. His hands, obviously, and his arms are clearly for his jacket, his trench coat jacket anyways. You can move it to the side, and he does have a real working gold chain. The chain doesn't really attach to anything, it's just on the underside of his vest. But again, really nice touches. Little nods to detail that I like that NECA would have spotted. As for the jacket itself, it's not all purple. I don't know if you'll be able to make it out or not, but there's like darker washes that they put on the back. And the sleeves themselves also have a little bit of grunge to it too. It's not, this particular Joker would not have had a very pristine wardrobe, not at all. He would have gone with more, something that he probably would have been wearing for a while. Vest also is a nice touch, as well as the shirt and tie underneath. When it comes to Joker's posability, the head is on a very nice ball joint. No issues there at all. Shoulders hinge out. They also rotate all the way around. He's got a bend point at the elbow, which also allows the forearms to rotate left and right. And he's also got a swiveling ball joint in the wrists. When it comes to his torso, this vest, as well as the jacket, of course, as you see, are rubbery. So there's a little bit of extra clearance, wiggle room when it comes to moving the torso. And legs on our very nice ball joint. And I'm also, I'm also kind of glad that NECA got to doing these figures later on. So instead of getting a figure where the lower body was likely going to be just a pre-sculpted staction piece, the new articulation, at least, allows Joker for a lot more movement options that he wouldn't have necessarily had before. And finally, he does have a hinge in the knee, but it's a really, really stiff joint. It does also allow the lower leg to rotate with a ball joint also in the feet. And there's a little close-up look at Joker's shoes. The figure has turned out very well. Years later, and The Dark Knight, I mean, really, when you think about it, Dark Knight was out a long time ago, but it's pretty cool to finally get the Joker that I think we've all been wanting. Mattel, as good as they are, unfortunately, sometimes, well, we've seen it before, Mattel sometimes rushes out a figure and doesn't really hit all the notes that a company like NECA can nail. Will we ever see a Batman from NECA? Well, other than the Michael Keaton Batman. Will we ever get a Christian Bale Batman? Probably not. But in the meantime, I'm really, really happy to have finally gotten the new Joker figure from NECA. And like I always say in the past, geez, I kind of wish NECA could have gotten the licensing for it. Well, years later, NECA did get the licensing for it, and I'm glad. It was almost worth the wait. Actually, yes, it was worth the wait. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the NECA Toys, The Dark Knight, The Joker. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.